In the year 1883, there lived the Clark family, a simple family of three in a tiny town named Dresden, Kansas. The small community had a population of 34 at the time. Joseph was an only child. And since there wasn't another 9-year-old within miles of their farm, he would have to invent his games. His father built him toys made of wood and paint over the years, hoping to bring some joy to the son he loved and cared for most. Even to a 9-year-old child with a good imagination and an unquenchable thirst for adventure, Joseph needed more. Jonathan surprised his son with 2 tin cans connected by a string. He told Joseph to take one end and run in the opposite direction until the line was tight. It was a good 30 feet long. Jonathan yelled to Joseph to put the can to his ear and listen. He was able to hear his father's voice say, "Hello," as if he were standing next to him. Eventually, after Joseph had exhausted almost every idea of what to do with the cans, he thought he'd drop one can down into the stone well at the edge of their property. How exciting this was for Joseph, to hear what it sounds like down at the bottom of a well. What mysteries lay down there? Does something scary live down there, in the dark? One cold morning, Jonathan awoke early with a sense of unease. Joseph's bed was empty. Without shoes or a coat, he raced out into the front yard and shouted Joseph's name. In a panic, he thought of the only place his son could be, and that was the well. A single tin can lay where Joseph usually sat. His son never wandered off far from the property. The stones that created the sides of the well were much too high for a 9-year-old to fall in. After weeks of searching, the Clark family gave up. Joseph's disappearance was going to remain a mystery to his parents forever. The following spring, Jonathan was out working when the tin can caught his eye, lying 5 feet from the well. Setting down the junk in his arms, he raised the tin can to his mouth and whispered, "Joseph, I love you so much." He waited a few seconds before moving it to his ear, with the slightest hope that he would hear his son's voice echo through the can. All he heard was the sound of the other tin can tapping against the stone walls of the well, which was soon followed by silence. He felt slight tension on the string attached to the can, before a soft voice spoke in his ear. "He's much happier with us." He quickly dropped the can and began pulling up the string that was connected to the boxes. He fell back in shock when he saw there was no other tin can, just a piece of string.